Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. Nigeria's President Muhammad Buhari has finally made his first public appearance in over 2 weeks. Since April 21st, President Buhari has not been seen in public. This has led to different reports about the president's state of health, but the presidency has since maintained that he has only been resting as recommended by his doctors. On Friday, Buhari was at the mosque in the presidential villa in Abuja discussing with some people, including Babagana Monguno, the national security advisor of the country. Suspected Boko Haram terrorists have killed 5 people in a fresh attack in Maiduguri, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. According to a statement from the Borno State Police Command, 6 other persons were also injured after 2 female suicide bombers detonated their explosives at Mandarari ward in Konduga local government area of the state. The incident comes a day after the Nigerian military averted another attack in the area, killing 3 suicide bombers. Abubakar Shekau, leader of the Boko Haram sect, has released a new video denying the reports that he was injured in a military airstrike. There were reports that Shekau sustained injuries while some of his men died when Air Force fighter jets targeted a location in Borno State where members of the sect had gathered. But in a 14-minute new video, Shekau accused the military of spreading falsehood. A councillor in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, identified as Umar Ibrahim, has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for selling food items meant for internally displaced persons in Mafa local government area, northeast Nigeria. Ibrahim was charged alongside 2 others, Zangebe and Modubulama, for diverting 180 bags of rice meant for victims of the insurgency in Mafa local government. For several months, international agencies have raised alarm over the catastrophic humanitarian emergency unfolding in IDP camps in the northeast part of the country. They have also accused officials of embezzling and stealing relief items meant for those displaced by the Boko Haram insurgency. The Nigerian government says setting up the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme will help advance economic integration in the sub-region. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Khadija Abba Ibrahim revealed this when the ETLS task force paid her a courtesy visit in Abuja, the nation's capital.
As we're all aware, our borders are very porous, and getting export between borders is not an easy job. There are so many bureaucratic challenges like customs, immigration, drug enforcement agencies, and so on and so forth. So it is our hope that with this task force, export, import will be much easier for citizens of the ECOWAS countries. I think that this is a very, very good initiative, because if you go to other parts of the world, like in Europe, in America, you find that the bureaucracy involved in export and import is not too much. There's ease of business, free movement of goods and services. So I think you should endeavor to emulate from other countries.
Many other regions, rather, in the world have been faring well and using the tool of trade and free movement to underscore and impact strongly on their economies, to the extent that many of them are doing between 60 and 70% of intra-regional trade. Unfortunately, West Africa has been dilly-dallying, dangling between 10 and 12% intra-regional trade. Researches and analysis conducted has shown that a lot of impediments, both structural and human, policy and otherwise, are responsible for the low impact of trade and free movement in West Africa. And so the heads of states decided that since a lot of people have been saying that political will, lack of political will, have been the bane of all of these infractions, they would galvanize that political will by setting up a task force of eminent persons. And so, in their next session, the 44th session held in Yamoussoukro in Côte d'Ivoire, they endorsed the setting up of
Niger's President Mahamadou Issoufou has rescheduled his proposed visit to Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari indefinitely. He was expected in Nigeria on Friday, but the trip was cancelled by authorities. According to a statement from Buhari's office, the trip was postponed at the instance of the Nigerian president. A new date will be announced in due time. The Benue State House of Assembly has passed the Open Rearing and Grazing Prohibition Bill 2017. The bill bans herdsmen from moving freely from one farming community to another. It also prescribes 3 years imprisonment or a fine of 100,000 naira per animal or both for violation of the provisions of the law, including cattle rustling. Open grazing has been blamed for the crisis between farmers and herdsmen in the country, which has resulted in violence and hundreds of deaths in different states. Rotimi Ameche, Minister for Transportation, says the administration of Goodluck Jonathan paid a contractor 34 billion naira for the dredging of River Niger. He said the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration will spend only 100 million naira on that same project. Ameche, however, failed to say whether the funds released by the last administration was exhausted on the project. The Supreme Court has adjourned ruling in the PDP leadership crisis till May 25, 2017. The intervention of the Apex Court followed an appeal filed by Ali Modu Sheriff, whom a federal high court had declared as the authentic chairman of the opposition party. He's challenging a suit filed by the Ahmed McCarthy-led faction, appealing the decision of the lower court. PDP, once Nigeria's ruling party, has been locked in a leadership battle since it left power in 2015.
If the McCarthy faction feels strongly about appealing, they can take out appeal in their name. Nobody is saying they cannot do so, but you cannot use the party. Don't forget, some people are in the saddle. Sheriff is in the saddle. He's been confirmed to be the leader or the controlling mind of PDP for now. Maybe it will be set aside later, but he says, I'm not interested in it. It's like in a board, in a company, there is a board. The board decides, takes an action which was subject of litigation. It suffers a defeat. Then in the Court of Appeal, it won. It can decide to discontinue the action. Whoever is not satisfied can take out an appeal in its personal or individual name. No matter how strongly you may otherwise feel about appealing, you must have instruction of your client. It is that instruction that we say is lacking in this case.
The Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt, reinstating the leadership position of Ali Modu Sheriff, it becomes the responsibility of Ali Modu Sheriff to decide whether any appeal which had been filed without its instruction shall continue or not. You see, once you have a decision by the court, it takes effect immediately. It's like somebody uses your name to file a suit in court, and you get to know, do you keep quiet and say, oh, let him continue? I didn't, after all, tell him. You must get up and say, I never authorized Mr. X to file this suit. And that's what Ali Modu Sheriff is doing. He said the appeal filed without my authority, I'm discontinuing it, and he's done just that.
They have a lot of things to do, a lot of work that come in every day. So we'll be here again on the 25th of May, God willing.
In celebration of the 2017 World Press Freedom Day, the Nigerian government has been urged to protect the rights and freedom of journalists practicing in the country. UNESCO, in collaboration with the European Union, organized an event to mark this day in Abuja, the nation's capital. At the event, the groups condemned the killings, arrests and molestations of journalists in Nigeria. They say these actions deny journalists the rights of freedom of expression.
Well, press freedom, relatively speaking, is rather good in Nigeria. There are, however, worrying incidents of breach of press freedom, and journalists are being killed, journalists are being arrested, and we very much think that the state should protect the freedom of the press freedom, the freedom of expression and information in this country.
Sadly, between last year and this year, in the ranking of world journalists, Nigeria fell in the ranking by Reporters Without Borders. Yes, some people say it's a CSO, but it's important because that's how we measure how we are doing. In 2016, they ranked us 116 among 180 countries. But today, they're ahead of this World Press Freedom Day. They are ranking us 122. That means we fell. And to us, it's not surprising. The arrests are becoming too many. The harassments are becoming too many.
Nigeria is not doing badly when it comes to the freedom of expression, freedom of information, and that they've been able to give chance to the journalists to really enjoy their freedom. But I feel we can do more. The Nigerian government needs to do more. We need to engage them. Because just a recent time in Bayelsa, we heard of the killing of a radio journalist that was just sleeping in his house and he was killed. And we believe that the government should be able to bring the perpetrators into book. They should be able to bring these people that are killing the journalists in the course of doing their profession. They should be able to bring them, they should be able to bring them to book. Who are the people killing them? Why are they killing them? Because these are the people who give voice to the voiceless. And we cannot just allow this to continue.
That was a very good business.
Yeah.
The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
But it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
you will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make we only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Up next is business news with Fidelia Aguncha.
Thank you, Thelma. The Central Bank of Nigeria has clarified that the 41 items declared ineligible for Forex still remain so. The Apex Bank had earlier stated that importers of items classified as not valid for Forex with transaction value of $20,000 and below per quarter shall now qualify for allocation of foreign exchange. However, in a statement by its spokesperson Isaac Okorafor on Friday, the CBN stated that its provision does not refer to the 41 items banned in 2015. Nigeria Central Bank says it raised more money from a sale of treasury bills than originally planned at an auction after it priced its one-year debt to yield more than inflation. The bank raised 230.60 billion naira at an auction, 80.60 billion naira more than it originally planned to sell. Treasury bill sales support the country by draining some of the naira in the market, thereby making the naira slightly stronger against the dollar. The central bank has been intervening since February to prop up the naira after introducing a complex multi-tier exchange rate system in the country. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the government is trying to ensure that those who come into Nigeria to do business do not experience hitches. Speaking at the forum, Oshibanjo says doing business in the country has become easier, especially for the micro, small and medium enterprises. He also said the reforms were currently being implemented by the relevant agencies so as to create a better environment for SMEs. Oil prices fell to 5-month low on Friday on concerns about a persistent glut despite assurances from Saudi Arabia that Russia is ready to join OPEC in extending supply cuts. U.S. crude oil futures fell more than 3% in early trading to less than $44 a barrel, while Brent crude also fell 3 cents to below $47 a barrel. Both benchmark trimmed losses to trade near Thursday's close after Saudi Arabia's OPEC governor Adib Al-Mahdi said OPEC and non-OPEC nations were close to agreeing a deal on supply cuts. That's all on business. More stories coming up. Don't go away.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. Eh? What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption
not in my country.
You know, go to your bank.
Corruption not in my country.
You're watching TV360 News now. The United Nations says it will push Ethiopia to allow investigations into rights abuses during months of unrest in 2015 and 2016 in which hundreds of people were killed in the nation. The Horn of Africa declared 6 months of emergency rule in October last year after more than a year of violent protests. Demonstrators in the area say the government has trampled on their political rights. Last month, a government-sanctioned investigation said 669 people had been killed in the violence. The state of emergency has since been extended by 4 months. The Somalian government sacked the country's Auditor General on Friday after his bodyguards were accused of shooting dead the Minister of Public Works, apparently by accident. Abbas Abdullahi Siraji, the 31-year-old Public Works Minister, was killed on Wednesday when government security guards shot at his vehicle outside the presidential palace. After an emergency cabinet meeting, the Prime Minister's office issued a statement announcing the Auditor General's dismissal. Football governing body FIFA has upturned Lionel Messi's 4-match ban for his country, Argentina. The Argentine captain was banned for 4 games for directing insulting words at an assistant referee. He, however, appealed against the ban and testified in his own defense. Former world number 1 Novak Djokovic has dismissed his entire coaching team as he seeks to rediscover his best form. The Serbian has endured a frustrating 2017 season and suffered a shock exit at the Australian Open in January this year. Djokovic had also lost his number 1 spot to Andy Murray in December last year after a poor run of form. After losing the number 1 spot, the 29-year-old dismissed longtime coach Boris Becker. That's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.